with your next homework sheet. So today we've got the Swiss ball class homework sheet for the continuing level. And this is the homework sheet that incorporates the Swiss ball. So if you don't have a Swiss ball, we have a different homework sheet for you, which you can find in the links below, or maybe a magic button up here. And so do those, because those are some of the skills that we're practicing inside our Swiss ball class. If you are going to use the Swiss ball at home, this is the homework sheet for you. Okay, so the first thing you want to do firstly is have a space for your mat with a wall or door. Make sure the door doesn't open on you if you have to lean up against it. And also make sure your Swiss ball is properly inflated. Okay, so the way you know it's the right height for you is if your knees are kind of just slightly lower than your pelvis, the top of your pelvis. That way you've got a nice angle to work with. It's not too big, it's not too small. If you're not sure, next time you come in the studio, just test out some of our different sizes and work out what's right for you. You can also sort of sneakily inflate or deflate the ball a little bit. That can help out if it's just not quite right. Okay, so I've got you sitting on your Swiss ball, hopefully. You're sitting in the centre. We're going to start off with just a really simple pelvic movement, which is our pelvic circles while sitting on the Swiss ball. What I want you to try to do is keep your knees and legs fairly still and just kind of explore the range of motion that your pelvis and hips have in a circular motion. So this motion here, we just want a gentle movement to start off with, and you're just kind of finding out how it feels each way, whether it's a bit tighter one way or the other, or whether you feel like you can do really big ones today or really small ones today, that sort of thing. And we're going to try and do about 5 or 6 each way, and go the other way. But sometimes going the other way you'll make a new discovery, like, oh, I didn't realise I was tight on my left hip, and that's okay. And this is kind of coming off the back of our spinal movement term. So in the spinal movement term, we do a lot of exploration of rotation and extension and flexion of the spine. So this circular motion is definitely tied with that. Okay, come back to the centre, and then what I want you to do is place your hands on your pelvis, your hips there, and we're just going to bring one leg up in the air, so you're balancing, and back down, and then do the other side. Simple enough. So these little exercises are just part of the warm-up, just starting to get the movement happening that maybe you haven't done today. And really try and lift the leg up beyond the hip. Okay, so lifting up beyond, lifting up beyond. Good. So you're just working on your balance as well. Okay, last one. All right, now the next thing we're going to be doing is laying down on your mat with your feet on the Swiss ball. You can use the wall as something to have the Swiss ball against. Okay, but you can also practice with the Swiss ball just off the wall a little bit if you're working on advancing your skills. Okay, we have got the pelvic curls. You're going to inhale to prepare, and then exhale, curling up. And roll it back down. So the advantage of the Swiss ball, much like when you put your feet on the wall, is that you can come up higher. Okay? Coming up higher, but I want you to keep following the normal rules that we have for our pelvic curl. So with that in mind, I don't want you just to flip up. I want it controlled, and I want you to find where the difficulty is, if there is one for you, and work with that. Okay? Because one of the things we're trying to do with your homework is get stronger. and let's do one more, okay? Coming up. And down. So that one is definitely for the hamstrings. You're then going to transfer the ball. Did you see that? That was cool. Transfer the ball to your hands, okay, and reach the hands up towards the ceiling. Then float the legs up, and we go with a flex foot. Now you're going to try and keep the Swiss ball very still as you tip the pelvis over, come back to the centre, and tip the pelvis over, come back to the centre. So your goal there is to keep that Swiss ball still. And it means you can't go into a huge range of motion. But that's okay, because what I want to try to do is centre you. So you have to think about your centre more than your extremities. Yeah? Very philosophical. You know how I roll. Come back to the centre. Alright, then from there, keep reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. And you're going to wiggle back. This is probably the most awkward part. Until your legs are straight. And then take the hands back behind the head, elbows up towards the ceiling. You're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, come up into a chest lift. Inhale to lengthen back down. Exhale, come up into a chest lift. Inhale, lengthen back down. So we've just got those legs extended. Now what I want you to try to do, and this is a little bit interesting, is I want you to try and reach your feet towards the wall. So the legs are being very active whilst they're resting on top of the Swiss ball. Okay? You all know how much I want you to try and stay moving and staying active. Here's another example of it. And then we go into hula. Let's do, how many have I given you? 5 each way. That sounds like a good amount. We're going to turn, exhale, centre, exhale, centre, and turn and centre. We're working at keeping the Swiss ball still. I can feel it wants to move on me, but I'm really trying to keep it stable. And 4, centre, and 4, centre, and last 1, centre, last 1, centre, and rest it down. Now reach the hands up towards the ceiling. The fingertips are reaching up, the shoulder blades are pulling down. You're going to inhale to prepare. Keep the legs on the Swiss ball. Exhale, press the hands down up into your hundreds position. Start your beats. Strong breath. You can hear the Swiss ball squeaking against the wall. But I'm trying really hard for it to stay stable. Okay? So that's the work that's happening there in my lower part of my body. I'm trying not to let it bounce. If I let go of that and just let it bounce up and down, the whole body starts to get a vibration and you start to get out of position. So keep trying to press the legs, reaching them long. Much like if you have a look at the homework sheet without the Swiss ball, we've got the feet on the wall. It's replicating the same thing. Yeah? One more breath. And resting it all the way down. Excellent. Okay, now, from there, what I want you to practice at home with the Swiss ball is some of the standing leg presses that we've been doing in the classes. So, you're going to position the ball up against the wall. And I want the apex of the ball to be just on my sacrum, which is part of your pelvis. And we're going to do 3 different positions. Okay, you're going to start off, the feet are directly beneath you, and you step forwards. You have that moment of trust. And we've got the feet in a parallel position. So if I leant down and place my hand between my feet, that would fit quite nicely in between the feet. Now, I've given you the option, and I know many of you, I've given you the option of 8 to 10 repetitions. I want you to be making sure that you're completing your set. So whatever you choose, try and stick with it. If you need to adjust it down, do so. Okay, that's okay. But be respectful of your body, and how low you go is up to you. Okay, so when you come down, I want you to go no lower than about here. So that's about 90 degrees, and push up. Okay, so that's about as low as I want you to go. You're going to go down and push up. We're trying to keep your back nice and straight, so you're not leaning over the ball, but at the same time you're not letting the bottom sink back underneath the ball either. Okay. Do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. So that's the first position. The second position, take the feet half a foot length back and lift the heels up in the air. So you're on your little tiptoes, yeah? Keep the heels lifted and bend and straighten. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. I'm doing 8s. 8. If you're doing 10, do 9 and 10. Okay. Then squeeze the heels together. So we've got our Pilates feet. And same again. This time the knees will go out at an angle and push up. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and resting down. Good. So those are the 3 positions that I want you to practice at home. Next up we have some more balance work. So this time you're going to be standing with a foot on top of the Swiss ball and place your hands back behind your head. Then you're going to roll the Swiss ball out and roll it back in, lifting the heel up. Roll it out and in. And in. Out and in. Last one. And in. Other side. And rolling it out. And in. So you're coming all the way up until the heel lifts. Out and in. 3 more. 2 and 1. Great. Okay, so then we're going to do a little bit of support work to finish off and some back extension stuff. Now, on your notes, you'll see that I've given you 2 options for this next exercise. Okay, so I want you to judge how you're feeling today with this one. The first option is the full version of this, where you've got a frog position, so the V position. You're going to have the ball between your legs underneath your belly. And you're going to roll out just a little ways and then place the feet against the wall in the V position. Okay? The knees are going to be bent. You can have them on the floor if you need to, or if you want a little bit more stability challenge, you can just push out a little bit further. Okay? Notice I haven't straightened my legs. They're still bent. Head down. It's an inhale to extend up, exhale down. Inhale, extend up, exhale down. You'd repeat that for 6. Now if you want the other option, what you can do is simply kneel down. Place your belly on top and work with that. So that's going to be a smaller range, but that's okay as well. You're still practicing your skills. Once you've done 6 of those, then we're moving on to the support exercises. And again, the support exercises, we can do a couple of different versions of that. The first one, you're going to have your hands together, elbows on top of the Swiss ball, and straightening the legs out. Okay, and holding that for 3 to 4 breaths, and repeating that a few times. The other way, a little bit more serious, is you're not going onto your elbows, you're going straight onto your hands. So you're pushing out into that support position. It's a lot wobblier, as you can tell, okay, but you do have the option to go down onto your elbows, okay? So we've got 6 of those. You can mix it up, holding each one for 3 or 4 breaths. Okay, so we're just mixing it up. And last one. Good. Okay, and then finally we have the back support, which I think is the most fun one. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll out until the Swiss ball is just on your back, up near the shoulders, but not onto the neck. Okay? So you're going to roll down. So I'm stopping here. The Swiss ball is supporting my upper body. I can use my hands. If you want to, you can extend back and look back at the wall. That's okay to do. But the idea here is that we're going to be moving through the hips. Okay, so you're going to lower the hips down, almost to the floor, and then lift the hips up. Okay, and so lower down and lift up. So really nice to open up the front of the body after those squats we did before. And pressing up and down and pressing up. I want you to be nice and comfortable in this position, because this term we're going to do some things whilst holding this position. So if you can practice this one, it almost becomes second nature. And then after you're doing 6 reps, you're going to walk back up and you're finished. Okay, well done if you finished that. Now if you wanted to, you can back it up, your homework sheet, with the non-Swiss ball portion as well, if you want a little bit more abs. But otherwise you can take it or leave it. I like to mix it up. So one practice session will be with Swiss ball, one without, just to get a well-roundedness through your practice. But I hope you go well, and I'll see you in the studio soon.